On November 1st, Sega dropped a very interesting trailer online for the upcoming game Sonic Dream Team. This will be developed by Sega Hardlight, their mobile games division, and will star 6 of the characters from the series: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Rouge, and Cream the Rabbit. While Amy has been made a mainstay character in the last few releases, fans were celebrating the return of Cream the Rabbit as a playable character. Oh, and Rouge is there too, which is neat. Honestly, I can't wait to see more of the game. The trailer has some awesome art that I'm sure will be part of some gorgeous intro for the game. Not only that, it seems like the environments are going for a specific art style, and it looks nice. So yeah, the reception for the game was positive, with not many complaints about it whatsoever. Well, there is that one little detail that pissed people off. On December 5th, Sonic Dream Team will release exclusively on Apple Arcade. I'm aware of the numerous videos discussing that platform of choice, and this will be no different. So, let's talk about Sonic Dream Team on Apple Arcade, but after a message from this video's sponsor. 2023 is shaping up to be an amazing year with great releases, and for those interested in playing those releases without any compromises, I can help you with that. Thanks to today's sponsor, Apex Gaming PCs. With the world of PC gaming becoming more and more appealing with amazing graphics, controller options, and hidden gems, you'll need a machine that can get you the gaming experience you deserve with 3 configurations that we've come up with to give you the most out of your budget. They even have some familiar names. What's even cooler is being able to save up to $250 with your order by using code GottaBeFrank. If you're interested in upgrading your gaming experience, you can check them out with the link provided below. Again, a huge thank you to Apex Gaming PCs for sponsoring today's video. Speaking of, let's get to that video. For those out of the loop, Apple Arcade is a game subscription service available on numerous Apple devices: iPhone, iPod Touch, which I'm surprised they're still supporting, iPad, Mac, and Apple TV, as long as your device can support the OS required to run it. If you're subscribed to something like Nintendo Switch Online and have access to their retro libraries for the NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, N64, and their Game Boy systems, then you have an idea of how these games work. They give you access to an exclusive library so long as you're paying monthly for the service, and you must be signed in to use it. In 2019, Apple launched it with the plans of providing a gaming experience that didn't require any kind of interruption for advertisements or any type of microtransaction. Since then, they've partnered with companies to bring some of their franchises to the platform. Some of them are in the form of limited time exclusive releases, or just go full on platform exclusive. And it's not like it's a bunch of cheap garbage that they put on there. A lot of these games are fantastic. Not only that, but the apps that already exist on, say, the App Store, Google Play Store, or some other service, have been given Plus upgrades, which vary from title to title. But for games which originally had in-game purchases or ad integrations, those have been removed entirely. So it sounds like a win-win, but like the movies on your favorite streaming service, one thing is inevitable, that being the game's fate after the multi-year deal between Apple and those third-party companies come to an end: delisting. This has happened to a select few titles already, including another Sega title called Choo Choo Rocket Universe. It's a solid-looking puzzle game that released on the platform, but in 2022 it was removed, and to this day we have no word on whether or not this title will ever see the light of day again. Well, that is if you didn't come across a tweet stating that Choo Choo Rocket Universe is still playable, though it requires holding onto the file to play it, but you're not able to log in. That's because unlike your streaming services, these games are downloadable, so think of the Xbox Game Pass or, like I said earlier, Nintendo Switch Online. These are downloadable apps on devices, so the files will still be lurking somewhere on said device. Sounds like good news, but that only applies to one platform that the game is accessible to play on these days: on Mac. Whether it's a MacBook or an iMac, it's treated as the same platform. So this means you'd only have one platform to choose from if you want to play the game after it goes offline in the future. For those complaining about not wanting to buy new hardware to play one game, tell that to the Sonic fans who bought an Xbox Series console to play Unleashed. Okay, I'm joking around, but I totally get it. Some people don't want to buy a new device to play one new title, and they're not willing to fork over $7 a month to play other games a few times and completely forget about it. It's something I've related to in different stages of my life, and someone's gonna say it, so I might as well beat them to it. Buy an iPhone 6s off eBay. What? You don't have $50 for an old device that can play it? What? You can't afford the mobile subscription? Sounds like a skill issue to me. Okay, I'm really pushing it here. Those last two really don't help because you can obtain a free trial for Apple Arcade, though I believe it's only for new members. Your experience may vary. Also, if you're going to tell someone that it's a skill issue towards any financial decision, big or small, shut the hell up. You don't know what their situation is. Maybe they're barely getting by. Who are you to judge them? Let's get back to the serious part, the used iPhone talking point. Yes, with a bit of searching, you can obtain a device such as an iPhone 6s that is said to be eligible to access Apple Arcade services And there's one video that demonstrates the gaming experience on a recent Apple Arcade release, Samba de Amigo. And this highlights some concerns I have with recommending the bare minimum device: performance. Due to the age of the device and current enhancements that we've been seeing in the last couple of years, your experience might be playable, but maybe not ideal. I know there are people who can get over the low frame rate, but when any device is pushed to its absolute limit, it starts heating up, which makes it uncomfortable to play after some time. It could be an hour, it could be minutes. Without first-hand experience, I can't really be sure of it. I guess the only anecdotal evidence that I have for you is the fact that I play a lot of Pokemon Go. It was a thing that I love, it's a thing I play once in a while these days, but I had it on a OnePlus 2. Eventually that device got to a point where anytime I had it booted up for maybe a few minutes, it would heat up a lot, making it uncomfortable to hold and not very fun to play when you have a device burning your hand. I know, Android phone, there's a bunch of variables, but if you have a device that has a heating issue, enjoying Sonic Dream Team is going to be an issue. There's another issue that I have with this recommendation, and I've heard nobody talk about it, and that's the battery life. With aging batteries, the life of said battery could be less than ideal as well, so Sonic Dream Team can be played anywhere that you want, but there's a very good chance that you'll be running for the lightning cable more than you'll be running around in the game. Am I being hyperbolic? Yes, but I'm trying to prove a point. While you can play the game, probably, you won't be able to play it for very long, probably, and if it's not from overheating, it might be from a poor battery life. Considering how anti-right to repair Apple has been over the past couple of years, swapping out the battery is not the easiest thing to do. On top of that, there's a very slim chance, but it is a chance nonetheless, that battery could turn into a spicy pillow. You can use the old device, but how long will you be able to enjoy it? Is it going to be playable on that system? And none of us will know that until the game releases. And yes, this is a very long way of saying you get what you pay for. Although I have heard of other decent suggestions, like not going for the 6S and getting something a little more recent but still supported, which is fine if it's within your means. Always be sure to do your research on the listings. Shop smart when looking for an old device. I've also heard the Apple TV is another platform to consider if you want something to play on a larger screen. Sure, you lose portability, but it's basically a micro console that was made for streaming TV and movies through various apps, but also has access to the majority of the Apple Arcade library, with the touch control games removed. For content creators such as myself, this is a perfect idea for those who want to produce content with the 16:9 widescreen display. And from the looks of it, it's a powerhouse of a device. Just remember to bring your own controller. With the Apple TV, you will need to pay more attention to the model of the device to ensure compatibility. So like I said earlier, shop smart, do your research if you decide to go the used route, and the same could be said for Macs and iPads. Consider the age of the product and the price, which are things I would legitimately recommend. So if you feel that a 6S won't get the job done, there are options available. Sure, you'll be paying a little bit more, but you're paying for a better experience. Aside from that, it still seems like it's all doom and gloom for the delisted titles, but there might be hope, even if it's not much. 2 years ago, a game released on the service called Fantasian. It's an RPG developed by the studio Mistwalker, an indie studio started by industry veteran Hironobu Sakaguchi. Fans of the title were given a bit of hope as earlier this year, it was listed on Steam for a brief period of time. Nowadays, the only evidence of it being around on Steam is on SteamDB. If this game is able to be ported to Steam, this could lead to great things regarding preservation of other Apple Arcade titles once their exclusivity deal expires. Then again, Choo Choo Rocket Universe was delisted last year and was almost considered lost media. Sonic Dream Team is not released at the time of this video, so it might be a little too early to speculate, but considering how many of these games never left the Apple ecosystem, it's tempting to think about the future of a game that looks promising. I'd like to see the game ported to PC in the future, and I'm sure a lot of other people would as well. Platform exclusivity isn't a new thing to the Sonic franchise, especially with a lot of recent releases. Sonic Racing is another Apple Arcade exclusive, Sonic Colors Ultimate was a timed exclusive to the Epic Games Store, and Sonic Superstars had an Epic Games Store login requirement at launch. It's more common now, but it's not much of a surprise. Apple, to my knowledge, assists with the funding for these new titles on their platform. Though I'm not really jumping for joy over the exclusivity, I'm not going to lose as much sleep as other people will, because if it wasn't for Apple funding these projects, there's a chance these titles wouldn't exist to begin with. When the game releases, I will be attempting to stream it on my Twitch page. I say attempt because I've had issues with my iPad and my capture card, so that's a hurdle I'm going to have to get over. And like I said earlier about the whole iPhone debacle, it's a great idea. Just do the research that you need to. And to those who aren't convinced and still don't want to get an iPhone, even if it's within their means, honestly, I think it's a little extra and you don't have to be this bent out of shape over it. I get it. Again, the exclusivity kind of sucks in this case, but it's not the most out of reach game to play. But then again, you can always disregard what I'm saying. This is just food for thought. And with that said, I think that'll just about do it. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk things out regarding Sonic Dream Team before you comment. If you just commented immediately, it's alright, I just want to know your thoughts on the whole thing. Not just the platform, but the game itself. Does it look good? Does it not? And if you are going to get it, what device are you going to play it on? Me personally, I'm going to play it on my iPad, because that's what I have that supports it. But if you just want to comment something, you can always go ahead and do so with the comment section down below. Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it around to people that you might know who want to know a thing or two about the quote-unquote controversy. I didn't say that word at all in this video, but I know that's kind of the key word that people are using, so that's why I used it in the title. I apologize, or maybe not, I don't know. So this video might help them out, it might not help them out, but it might give them a bit more information, so if you do share it, awesome. With that said, I want to give a shout out to the supporters of this channel. They are the channel members and patrons who are supporting this channel with a monthly contribution. If you want to find out how to do so, you can do that with the join button below this video, or you can go to patreon.com/GottaBeFrank. Lowest tier is $1, and speaking of lowest tier, the Chaos tier members, who are the $1 tier members, their names are scrolling across the screen right now. And the super tier members are on screen right now, but they also get a verbal shout out. They are Martin YT Plays and Jimmy Duke STR. To all of my channel members and patrons, I want to thank you all so much for your extra support. It is greatly appreciated. You are all awesome. And if you want to follow my shenanigans outside of YouTube, you can join my Discord server, or you can go to my other social media links. Those will all be linked down below. And with that said, I hope you all have a wonderful and safe day. I hope you're looking forward to Sonic Dream Team, because I sure am. And I'll see you for the next video. And until then, take care.